Welcome to Learning in Limestone. Our goal, success for all.
The Limestone District School Board has a pilot project that brings more intense hands-on learning to both students and their teachers, right in their own classrooms. Let's see how they're building on their learning. So you've done traveling culinary and traveling woodworking. Can you tell us about this program?
Absolutely. So what we've done here is we've transformed this grade 8 classroom into a wood shop. We're very committed in bringing experiential learning to our intermediate students, and for the kids who don't have access to our traditional sites, we've decided to take the show on the road and bring it to them in their own buildings. And what that also does is that also helps their classroom teacher to learn how to do experiential learning in a safe way that's meaningful so that they can continue on with that capacity after I've moved on.
Yeah, as we can see, definitely it took safety precautions and procedures. And how did the students learn much about it? Did they kind of have like a lot of time to learn how to use it?
Oh, absolutely. So we run all the students through the standard operating procedures for whatever tools and equipment that they're going to be using. And then once they've done that passport to safety, we're able to move on and start to work on our projects. And it's also beneficial for the teachers because all of the tools that I am using here with them are tools that they can be comfortable using with after I've gone. And it's a good chance for us to co-plan and to co-teach and to say, okay, let's do some more of this later on in our future long-range planning.
How does this learning support high school or even beyond?
Well, it's really important that students have access to the sort of programs that are available to them in high school beforehand. So it's really neat to have kids who are in grade 7 and grade 8 and even grade 6 sometimes say, wow, you know, I'm really good at this and this is something that I want to learn more about. And then I'm able to then talk to them and their teachers are able to talk to them about what some of their options can be in secondary. So it's a very good chance to be introduced to new ways of learning and to recognize new skills that they possess themselves.
Tell us a little bit about your box and how long it took to make it, or...
It took about 3 days or almost a week because we had to get all the measurements set first, and then we had to start cutting it with the miter box and the saws, and then we started have to saw the nails in, but sometimes your nails would go through the box, so you had to keep trying, and then we did the top of the box.
Does math take a major key in making this box?
Yeah,
and if so, how?
You need the right measurements to do it. I forget what the measurements were, but you need like this over that. Sometimes you have to go into fractions with the measurements to get the right measurement.
What did you like best about this class?
I really like how you get to actually use like saws and learn how to do it properly instead of learning the dangerous way, and you get to make something out of it and take it home.
Have you ever used tools before this class?
A little bit with my dad.
Do you see yourself maybe working with tools in the future or even taking maybe a woodworking class in high school?
Definitely.
How does woodworking class help educate the students?
Well, there's been multiple things that the students have learned through this experience. We've been able to relate it back to our measurement math unit. We've been able to stop, pause, look at measurements and stuff in terms of making sure it's exact, looking at inches versus centimeters, stuff like that. It's been good for them in that they've started to think about high school and what programs are open for them in terms of if they want to take woodworking or shop, auto, stuff like that.
The other thing we've been working on is some self-regulation stuff, so perseverance, and for a lot of them this is completely new and they find it really challenging. So we have a chart on the board where when they get mad, instead of getting mad, they go and they color in a square, and we see as a class how often we've been self-regulating and really working through things that are difficult.
So what has this experience been like for you two as teachers?
Well, for myself, I was kind of starting right where the kids were. I'm not the greatest at building stuff and whatnot, so things like learning about different terms, different types of saws, how to use the shear, stuff like that. It's been a huge learning curve for me, so able to work alongside with the kids and whatnot throughout this process.
Yeah, and I come from a background where I have more hands-on experience and more building experience, so I'm really interested to see how I can do it safely in the class and hopefully continue on the program once Jason leaves or Mr. Q leaves.
This traveling woodworking class is more than just math and safety procedures. It's about learning important life skills, like learning from your mistakes and sticking to challenges even if they're difficult. Just one of the many ways the Limestone District School Board brings learning alive.
Learning in Limestone is brought to you by the Limestone District School Board.